Folks, I regret to inform you that I've just been brought some very disturbing and disappointing news. And I can't say that I told you so, but this is actually something that I was talking about yesterday in a video I uploaded. And this almost seems like it's never going to stop. It's almost like it's never ending. And I just received word after hearing about a tragedy overnight in Virginia, with tragedy at a Walmart in Virginia, which is sad to say that this tragedy involved a store manager. Apparently, is the information that's been brought to me, that a store manager had inflicted this life altering pain on the employees and families of these Walmart associates in the break room. Then also being shared the tragic news of someone driving their car into an Apple store. Folks, this is alarming to say the least. This is unnerving. This is unsettling. And although nowhere near as catastrophic and life-changing and, pretty much as definite as life and death can be, now I'm catching wind that HP, Hewlett-Packard, is laying off thousands of employees. And the reason why this really causes me so much grief is the fact that this is going to continue. Now, I feel as though we all started this journey together at a time where food insecurity was very high. There was a high percentage and likelihood and regular occurrence of food shortages hitting grocery stores, and we were covering that on a regular basis and seeing grocery stores with empty shelves and panic and crisis setting in as shoppers realized that they couldn't go to their Walmart and their Aldi or a Lidl or Piggly Wiggly or whatever, Publix or Kroger, whatever store you shop at. You couldn't go there and just pick up the necessities because chicken, pasta, canola oil, cooking oil, eggs, milk, grains, they weren't there. They weren't there. And it really caused people a huge amount of concern and fear and panic as they questioned the future of their livelihoods, as their ability to buy the groceries and stock their pantries and stockpile for rainy days and stock up on canned goods and buy food and necessities and beans and rice and, non-perishables that would store really well for long periods of time. There was a huge concern that this was going to pretty much go away. And, a lot of folks were dehydrating food at that time, and they were canning and they were jarring and they were doing all they could to prepare. Well, I hate to say it, folks, but here we are yet again with a similar problem, similar scenario, similar situation that I had projected that would happen this spring of 2022, summer of 2022. And I warned you folks that this was coming. And in fact, it's here. The mental health issue, the mental health crisis is upon us. And with mass layoffs, which ultimately pretty much kind of basically fulfills the prophecy that I had shared of the folks at the top falling furthest to the bottom, basically being eaten up by job loss and inflation and economic downturn, is causing a massive problem across the country, and only right after midterm elections. Funny how those two coincide. However, we need to be mindful and cognizant of what's going on. Walmart, Chesapeake, Virginia, apparently a manager. Perhaps maybe there was some form of an internal struggle going on, an ongoing problem between the manager and the staff, and perhaps maybe their sexual orientation or their choice of choosing to represent themselves or distinguish themselves or classify or categorize themselves as non-binary, provoking them to have this mental breakdown, which honestly, folks, I'm not going to lie, this bothers me more than anything, as children are having this forced upon them. Children are having this forced upon them with, not even knowing what 2 plus 2 is or how to tie their own shoe, not even knowing the basics of life besides, I just want to wake up. I just want to play with my toys. I just want to see my friends. I want to watch cartoons. I want to eat cereal. That's it. I want a Happy Meal with a toy inside. That's it. Not, you know what? You decide who you are and what you are. And don't worry about science and history and chromosomes and, anything else of that matter. Just, this is a growing problem because not me, but folks are out there forcing this upon the youngest of younger generations, and it's only going to grow and expand and boil over into this problem that we are seeing today that is only going to compound the negative effects that are already upon us of inflation, high prices, a recession, a deep recession, a depression, folks' money being tied up and locked up and frozen in accounts at the bank, the possibility of the implementation of a central bank digital currency that's going to wipe out the US dollar, possibly gold and silver not being worth what they once were in the past, cryptocurrencies taking over only in a way that potentially will more than likely swipe the savings and investments away from those who've worked so hard for it through scams like FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and SBF, working with SEC authorities and others out there, high profile folks out there, sweeping this under the rug while they are slowly transferring wealth from one hand to the other. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, announced 10,000 more workers being laid off. Meanwhile, he's going to donate a mass majority of his huge fortune before his time on Earth ends. Meanwhile, Dolly Parton picks up $100 million and Elon Musk takes over Twitter and basically runs it into the ground overnight. Folks, this is not a joke. This is serious. These things are actually really going on. But what's more important and probably should be considered more than anything else is what's next. What's next? Every single day, there's something new, there's something worse, there's something else that's potentially going to set us up to have us see us be wiped out. More than likely, low income, middle class, working class, poor families who are already barely surviving and struggling to get by and keep their heads above water as they're barely living paycheck to paycheck and just one paycheck away from being broke, one paycheck away from being homeless. On top of the struggles that we are seeing occurring literally around the clock. The Biden administration, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Aramco, Vladimir Putin and Zelensky and Russia and Ukraine and their conflicts and sanctions on oil, China, Taiwan, Indonesia, South Africa. It's never ending. And all of it, all it does is literally pit us against each other, force us to see prices driving up through railroad labor shortages and railroad labor strikes and trucking driver shortages and diesel fuel shortages, further driving up prices and inflation, causing more turmoil, causing more panic, causing more crisis for us here in America, while our administration is steadily sending our taxpayer dollars, our money, our resources, what we need to survive to other countries without our consent. Executive orders being signed, we have no say. At the end of the day, the Great Reset is upon us. The World Economic Forum, they have their agenda. They will impose their will on the rest of the world. It is up to us to stop them. It is up to us to survive this. And whatever possible new occurrence could happen tomorrow that's going to hit the news, that's going to further drive down the heart and the motivation and the drive of folks out there who are like, you know what? I know they're trying to tear us apart. I know they're trying to eliminate us. I know they're trying to wipe us out. I know they're trying to shut us down, but I have to prepare. My family needs to be prepared. I've seen the warning signs. I'm aware of the warning signs. I know what's going on. The banks are trying to steal my money. The banks are trying to take my money. The banks are trying to freeze my accounts and lock me out. Food is of always a top concern and priority. Meanwhile, we have diesel fuel shortages and price hikes and inflation and rising interest rates and global turmoil, almost unable to keep up with how many problems and crises are occurring at one time, simultaneously, one on top of the other, that are all designed to tear us apart and break us down and make us more dependent on the system only so that that system can then further control us. Folks, pay attention. Please do not fall victim. Please make sure you are prepared. Make sure that you have the food you need. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have clean, safe water. That's a huge importance. Make sure you have money. Make sure your finances are in order. Make sure you are not overspending. You're not over leveraging yourself through credit and debt. Make sure you're not having all your funds tied up in one bank that they can shut you down with just a power outage or a system failure that will literally leave you out in the cold with no access to your funds and no money, no way of survival, no way to buy food, pay for gas, pay your utilities, pay your bills, possibly see you evicted or foreclosed on because of a banking glitch. This shit is real. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to tell you what it's like. This is what I'm seeing. If you see something different, let me know. Comment down below. If you see something different, let me know. But from what I'm seeing, this is rough. This doesn't mean it's the end. It doesn't mean it's over. It means that we need to be vigilant. We need to be strong. We need to be courageous. We need to be a family, a team, a community. We need to work together. We need to have a network. We need to share information and communicate with one another. But at the end of the day, we need to realize what's really going on and what they're trying to do to us. And we need to be working on ways to survive it. Otherwise, we're going to be wiped out. Otherwise, we will have no chance. Otherwise, they will get their way. And we don't want that to happen. We can't let that happen. It's not about just votes and left and right, red or blue, black or white, none of that shit. Pay attention.